We are delighted to be offering this wonderful painting, The North Sea by L.S. Lowry, in our upcoming Modern and Contemporary Art Sale on the 15th of October. The painting was last seen in public in 1967, the year after it was painted, at the Lefebvre Gallery in London, and since then has remained in private hands. The painting has come from the estate of a lady from the northwest of the UK. She often reminisced of childhood holidays in Cumbria and her affinity with the sea. She went on to study in Italy and France and became fluent in both languages, and was also a very accomplished pianist. On returning to the UK, she met her husband and they both settled building a highly successful business. It was around this time in Morecambe that she met L.S. Lowry. She recounted of his delight in the simple things, such as eating ice cream, and they both shared an affinity for the sea. L.S. Lowry was fascinated by the sea. At once both beautiful and dangerously powerful, it was a constant source of inspiration to the solitary artist. Indeed, in later life he said, "I've always been fond of the sea. How wonderful it is, yet also how terrible. I often think, what if it suddenly changed its mind and didn't turn tide and came straight on? If it didn't stop and came on and on and on and on, that would be the end of it all." Lowry painted the sea throughout his life. However, the majority of his seascapes depict the northwest coast, the resorts of Lytham and Rhyl, where he spent many a holiday with his somewhat overbearing mother. In these he painted seafronts bustling with holiday makers and boats scudding across sunlit seas. However, from the early 1940s he began to paint pure seascapes with nothing but sea and sky. These rare, seemingly simple, yet highly sophisticated works are far removed from the bustling industrial street scenes for which he is better known. The North Sea, painted in 1966, is one of the finest examples of his rare, large-scale seascapes. After the death of his mother in 1939, Lowry was free to choose his own holiday destinations. He frequently stayed for long periods of time at the Seaburn Hotel in Sunderland, which he became deeply attached to and where the staff took great care of him. Here he always stayed in the same room, which looks straight out at the empty expanse of the North Sea, the water and sky melding at the horizon. The North Sea encapsulates Lowry's extraordinary skill in manipulating his distinctive 5-colour palette to create a painting that at first glance appears monochrome, but on closer inspection demonstrates a deft use of colour. Whilst predominantly using his beloved flake white, Lowry has modulated it with ivory black and hints of yellow ochre, Prussian blue and vermilion. Lowry worked up his paintings over many months, gradually adding layer upon layer to create a texture and tone of great complexity and depth that draws the viewer in. It is often suggested that we should see these seascapes purely as images of loneliness, and indeed, in the 1940s, Lowry once stated that, "I started to paint the sea, nothing but the sea, but a sea with no shore and nobody sailing on it. Look at my seascapes. They don't really exist, you know. They're just an expression of my own loneliness." However, these works are as enigmatic and multifaceted as the artist himself. Rather than loneliness, perhaps they represent a place of quiet solitude and peace, away from the clamour and industry of Salford, or a place of pure nature, composed only of elements upon which the hand of man has had no visible effect. Whatever his intentions, Lowry has created a remarkable rendition, capturing the mysterious allure the sea has long exerted on mankind.